Thank you very much for having me here. I've been here in Bulgaria for about 3 days now, and been having a very good time. And I had a very nice meeting last night with the Bulgarian Wikipedians, and I think some of them are probably here. Part of my goal here is to encourage people to get involved in editing Wikipedia. So tonight, what I'm going to be discussing is Wikipedia and Wikia, my new project, and the free culture movement, the future of free culture in general. Before I get started, I want to give a big thank you. Are you able to see the slides? I hope so. I try to explain everything well enough that you don't have to see the slides, but hopefully you can see them. I want to thank Media Mix. This is the festival who brought me here to Bulgaria. Tonight's event was made possible by a few different people: SmartCom Bulgaria, SpectrumNet provided some financial support. The Modern Theater, which is an amazing, beautiful new theater here, which I'm very impressed with, provided this hall for us all to come read tonight. And the American Embassy in Bulgaria is providing translation services tonight, and so I'm very thankful about that. It's kind of a funny, interesting thing. Under the previous administration, I don't think they even knew Wikipedia existed. Now I'm getting some support because they feel like this is a very charitable project, and I think the U.S. is trying to put a better face to the world now, which is something I think we should all be very happy about. I think I'm a better message to the world than bombs, so hopefully they'll continue to support my work. So, in 1962, Charles Van Doren, who was later a senior editor at Britannica, said the ideal encyclopedia should be radical. It should stop being said. But if you know anything about the history of Britannica, which is the great English language traditional encyclopedia, it's always been anything but radical. It's still a very safe, very old-fashioned encyclopedia project, one which I admire very much. It's a very nice encyclopedia. But Wikipedia, on the other hand, began with a very radical idea. And that's for all of us to imagine a world in which every single person on the planet is given free access to the sum of all human knowledge. And that's what we're doing at Wikipedia. So every element of this vision statement is important. When we talk about each of these elements, I'll explain each of them here tonight in my talk. And hopefully people will have a better idea of what Wikipedia is than they did when you came in. So what is Wikipedia? Well, first of all, how many people here have used Wikipedia? Okay. You came to the right lecture. But how many people here have actually edited Wikipedia? Oh, wow. You really came to the right lecture. I came to Bulgaria to convince more people to edit Wikipedia, but I'm obviously talking to the wrong people. But how many people here are Wikipedia administrators? We have a few here, I think. So actually, after the talk, if you haven't been involved in Wikipedia, you'd like to get more involved, you should come up and talk to some of these people up here, because they do have, not every month, but every few months, they get together for dinner and wine and beer, which is one of the best parts about working in Wikipedia, is hanging out with other geeky friends like us. So I'm sure they would love to talk to you and give you more information on how to get involved. So for people who have only used Wikipedia by reading something in Wikipedia, these people may not always have a full idea of what Wikipedia is all about and what our mission is. And so I'd like to go a little bit into the core definition of Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a freely licensed encyclopedia written by thousands of volunteers in many languages. So when I talk about free access to all human knowledge, I'm talking about something more than just that it doesn't cost any money to access Wikipedia. What we're talking about is free in the sense of free software, or as more people know it, as open source software. This is a concept that was originally pioneered by Richard Stallman. And he talks about the 4 freedoms of free software. And these are all things that are very much a part of the Wikipedia community, is the free licensing model. One of the old jokes that we have in the free software movement is that we're talking about free as in speech, not free as in beer, which is kind of a fun way of thinking about it. Free beer is great. Everybody likes free beer, and you drink it, and it's satisfying, and that's great. But free speech is something a little bit more important. And so what we have in Wikipedia is, this guy really likes to talk. We give you the freedom to copy our work, you have the freedom to modify, you have the freedom to redistribute it, and you have the freedom to redistribute modified versions. And you can do all of these things commercially or non-commercially. So what we're really looking at is the idea that when people are contributing to Wikipedia, they aren't only contributing to this non-profit shareable humanitarian project, they're contributing to a storehouse of knowledge that other people can take and reuse and adapt and modify in many, many different ways. A lot of the things that go on in Wikipedia have to do with people who are taking content from other language Wikipedias and reusing it and translating it. We see people with educational projects taking Wikipedia and modifying it for some particular purpose. This is something that we very much welcome. So what do I mean when I talk about the sum of all human knowledge? This is a really important idea for Wikipedia. Wikipedia is an encyclopedia. It's not anything else, and it's not everything in the world. There are lots of things that don't belong in Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not an archive, it's not a library, it's not a textbook. Wikipedia is not YouTube, so we don't have funny cat videos. I love funny cat videos, just like everybody, but they don't belong in Wikipedia. We're not MySpace or Facebook. Sometimes I have journalists who ask me questions about Wikipedia as if it's a social network, and well, we're not a social network. Obviously, we're a very social site, and lots of people make friends through the site and connect with each other. We're not like Facebook, where you're connecting and linking to all your friends and sending messages back and forth as the primary purpose. That's just not what we're doing. An encyclopedia offers an essentialized summary of human knowledge with the depth of the material depending on the context. So when we talk about a particular entry, let's imagine the entry on the Eiffel Tower in France. What should go in that entry? Well, one of the great things about an encyclopedia is pretty much everybody has a general idea of what belongs in that entry about the Eiffel Tower. It should tell the history of the Eiffel Tower, the location. It should tell some of the critical responses. It should have a picture, maybe 2 pictures of the Eiffel Tower. This is what belongs in Wikipedia. What doesn't belong in Wikipedia are dozens and dozens of people's vacation photos of the Eiffel Tower, poetry about the Eiffel Tower, jokes about the Eiffel Tower. These are all wonderful things, and we're not opposed to those things existing somewhere, but they are not an encyclopedia article. And we like to stay very focused on our mission, which is to create